Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Stop Losing, Start Trading, the weekly show we do 3 times a week. I'm here, Guillaume Lambert. I'm with Rosalie, aka Crypto Queen. We're kind of going over options trading concepts, also how to be a bit LP in Uniswap, and how can we use options as a way to hedge your risks. And also more generally, we could talk about the market. We try to kind of contextualize what we see happening in the market to be a way to guide option strategies. Everything we say here is, of course, not financial advice, but it's just a way for us to discuss how we see options. This is applicable to Panoptic, but also any options protocol or platform. Looking forward to kind of see what we have in store today. But yeah, first of all, how are you doing today, Rosalie?
Good, good. Yeah, I think the market kind of didn't behave as badly as I expected on Friday with all the war outbreaks and all the sad news. Crypto Twitter was going crazy. My trading bots were like going crazy, and I was a bit worried. But I checked this morning, and it seems to be a little bit. Yeah, I know Solana went up, so I was like, okay.
And I mean, ups and downs at this point, I think it's unfortunate, but a lot of what we see is that the market is pretty resilient. Whatever happens, I guess. Of course, we don't want to see. Um, could be war, could be anything else. But yes, we just have some type of resilience that we see the whole market kind of green on the week, but the sharp dips we saw on Friday is coming back. I don't know XRP what's it's doing there, but Tron is also on the way up. I don't know if you heard about the Tron uh, news. Tron will be maybe listed on the Nasdaq as a I don't know if it's a SPAC, but some type of acquisition vehicle that will make it tradable on the Nasdaq. Kind of it's a good for blockchains. I don't know if it means to be traded on the Nasdaq, especially with the president's children being involved. What can we say? I don't know if the market prices this, but it's not a huge impact. Again, I don't know what the 7 days. It's again, it is what it is. But yeah, and the markets are also kind of green. We can look at Ethereum. We saw some pretty nice move over the past few days. The Yes, overnight still going up. I think there's a good kind of headwinds for tailwinds, I guess, for Ethereum. This is impacting our portfolio. Luckily for interns, so
Yeah, I
good.
think Coinbase finally listed perps for Bitcoin and Ethereum for US users.
Ooh,
So there will be some more trading opportunities there, and I think they'll have a good impact on price as well.
exactly. No, this is good. Again, I'm actually entirely sure how perps impact the price. I know that if there's a Binance listing, there's been a study that if you short it very soon, most of the time you can actually ride the wave down. It's hard to short on a DEX. It's hard to short on say Uniswap even or a protocol like Aave because it could have to be there. But yeah, perps allows you to tap into that short side. But yeah, I think yeah with Coinbase we'll see how much traction it gets. I don't know if it's going to be looped into their Deribit new offering too, but yeah, this is actually very cool. Maybe perpetual options on Coinbase. Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
saw
we
we
need.
announced we announced that you can trade DEX pairs on the main app, which is huge. I guess it's on base. I'm excited to see where this goes, but yeah, the listing process for Coinbase is hit or miss. Or I know that Kobe had a thread about this. It's a weird process where they list random ass coins or don't list very reputable ones. Nowadays, they probably trade whatever you want. It's on chain. Who cares? Would you use that feature from Coinbase, I guess, to trade meme coins from your account?
I don't know if it's similar to what I was looking into on last week on Thursday. I think it's really confusing. I think I need the UI to kind of explain a little bit more what my gains or my losses are. I don't like this just buy or sell because I don't really know what that gives me. And so I don't know, but maybe I'll
Yeah,
double check.
it's maybe a bit for normies. You live on chain a little bit. It's maybe more for normies that don't have seed phrase to manage or a hardware wallet. You can do it from the interface. Trade if it goes to a Uniswap pool, then we can imagine that it's something that Panoptic users can do on the other side. But yeah, this is again. I think that this is the end state. Coinbase will get rid of all of their servers and their kind of uptime and all of the costs associated with maintaining a website a little bit. You can sell it. But it's one sequencer, I guess, opposed to thousands of yeah, different websites. So yeah, or Coinbase or
Yeah, I mean, I use Coinbase most of the time just because it's quite fast and yeah, fees can be low usually if you just transfer USDC. So I like that. But yeah, if I want to buy other coins that are not there, obviously I have to figure out how to do that.
yeah. Thanks Coinbase and Coinbase Ventures for sponsoring this section of the show.
I wish.
The same way they sponsored whatever the Trump whatever parade or whatnot. There was a Coinbase sign. I thought it was Photoshop, but I think it's real. Anyways,
Oh wow, yeah, there were a lot of people there. It looked very fun.
yes. All right. This is the portfolio. We do have kind of a. We'll keep it short today, but yeah, we do have a few positions on. Uh, this is the whole portfolio. One thing that, again, this is five markets. We could even add a new one. I think this is kind of manageable because most days there's not much to do because we're treating with weekly and monthly options. Full monthly options means that every few days there's not such a big change. I opened or intern opened a position I think that brings the utilization of the ETUDC a bit higher. But the one thing that people have to maybe when you land on the portfolio page, yes, look at your profit. We're making money on our markets, which is great, but also your utilization. It's from if it's exceeding 100%, you will get liquidated. So this is maybe the best way. This is 40-ish. Yellow is not as generous. Maybe we'll change the scale because it's still manageable. It could still be green. Above 50 might be when you start worrying, but 50% utilization means you're kind of protected to a 50% price move almost. So this is the whole portfolio making money in all markets, which is great. But is there one particular you want to look at first, Rosalie?
Yeah, I'm really curious about the ratio trade and as well as the USDC trade, but
Yeah, the ETH BTC ratio. Yes, aka the ratio trade. I don't think we've done anything in so past 18 days. This is trying to gauge the relative performance of ETH and BTC, or in this case, it's pricing ETH as BTC units of BTC. So this is kind of one way to look at this. Uh, yeah, 18 days in. What does it? Yeah, what do you think of that position?
yeah, I think it looks good now. We have both legs are in range and earning some spread. I know yeah, I see we started and the ratio moved down. So this was a bearish trade on the ratio, but I know at some point we were out of range
Yeah.
almost. And so we're moving back in a good direction. 18 days, yeah, looks fun.
Yeah, and it's directional a little bit, but it's still at the neutral. Again, and maybe the title of this one is you want to maximize extraction of volatility, and this is a LP position, two LP positions that we're creating slightly offset. It may be weird that we have two positions, but it's because we are creating a put option, which uses BTC as collateral. We're creating a call option, which is using ETH as collateral. But we combine them together, and then because we combine them, we have maybe twice the capital efficiency because the risks are only one-sided. So two legs which have risk on both sides, but they don't add up when we go with. Anyways, we can maximally, I guess, extract volatility, maximize fees by having two positions that are doubling your capital efficiency. And at the same time, we created positions which have a multiplier to them. So we tried to an interface, but this is the total amount of liquid that was deposited through Panoptic. Part of it was purchased. So what's left is earning fees at an accelerated rate. And this is also a very important component. If you're used to Uniswap LPing, if you're used to kind of finding the range, now you can choose the one strike. In that case, that gives you 10% more than the fees. And this is actually a pretty good outcome because these small like 10 15 in that case we're net 6% more, but these will kind of add to your returns, add to your probability of profit. and you can actually use that extra fees to offset potential losses. So this is actually a very good position for maximally extracting volatility. And yeah, this is 18 days in. Would you do something? Wait, take the profits. What do you feel about this?
Yeah, I'm tempted to take the profits now, although I mean ETH is yeah, has outperformed BTC recently for a little bit, so I don't want that to happen again.
I
ETH
see.
seems to I mean Bitcoin seems to be kind of going down a little bit at the moment, but
Yeah,
maybe it's fine.
it's being boomerized. Maybe. Okay, yeah, I see what's going on. Yeah, like, can we see this? No. Okay. Yeah. So it's fine. It's fine. We earned 5.7%. Part of it comes from fees, almost pretty much all of it. Part of it comes from the price action. This were bearish, and then from what you say, you maybe have a slight not change of mind, but you're less bearish maybe than you were 18 days ago, and this is totally fine. So yes, I would also advocate for taking the profits depending on the gas. Time it so that you don't pay. You're making maybe $50, don't pay $20 worth of gas. But yes, that's one fine point. We're directionally right. Earning fees. It was tested early on. Now it's back into the profit zone. Yeah, might as well close this and earn your profits. Maybe the intern could do it overnight when the gas is cheap. Now it's like four, but yeah, wouldn't be making $20 on that trade. 2.8% on your investment in 2 weeks. So this is good. The other one we wanted to look at is the ETH USDC trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one we created a new position, and then there was a yeah. Let's go to the first one that's been opened by for 6 days. Um, this one quite recent, quite neutral. Anything that you maybe want to do
Yeah,
or
I
comment
think
on? Yeah.
Um, I'm always curious with delta neutral positions where they kind of hit the less slopey part of the slope, the more delta neutral area where it's a little bit balanced out.
Yeah.
So depending on price action, it could, keep moving in and out of that range, but that might mean eventually I mean, we have a wide range here, but profits aren't as,
Yeah. So
um,
it's fine. It's $20 in 6 days. It's a weekend. We can imagine that if we do it for 4 weeks, it's still in range. Instead of being $20, could be $80 or $90, for instance, and that would likely bring our break-even points quite wide. So this is kind of the another way to hedge your risk is that the more you wait, the wider these break-even points are. So it's now near the middle. It's actually not scary at all. If you still think that the range is between 2080 on one side and 3300 on the other side, you can maintain this for the next 2 3 weeks. It's fine. We don't have a huge multiplier, meaning that we are only one of the legs only is being purchased. A tiny bit of buying. The other one is kind of untouched, which is fine. But then it might not be the best, but that's fine. There's not much more. But I would say this is a delta neutral trade when it was set up. It's still somewhat in that same range. Yeah, it was minted, I guess, a bit higher even. So even if the price goes up, we would be in the same place. So yeah, it's fine. We're doing
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Hopefully it'll grow like the Eigen one did. I think that was really
Uh,
fun. This
that's
one
it.
looks smaller.
Yeah, the medium to long tail have a better return profile. Of course, more risks, but it's actually an interesting trade off. ETH USDC have almost an oversupply of liquidity, and most of the trading comes from arbitrage, which is less organic. On the Eigen, it was mostly real trade, so it helps accumulate. So yeah, I would also recommend keeping this on. This other one was a risk reversal trade, and this was one trade that when I looked, it's not the same one we posted. So this is a short put that is being sold and buying a call at the same time. And then if you look at the ranges, the put is much narrower. It's a weekly put, and the call is a monthly call, so it's wider. When we set it up, there was some extra liquidity out of range, and we always say when you see options being sold out of range, it's like a free option. So by the time intern tried to do it, I think the liquidity was gone. So
Mm,
they resorted to still do the risk reversal, but buy a wider one, which means they pay but less than what they receive on the narrower one.
I see. Okay.
And then the net spread, meaning it's still 0.3%, 30% of the fees on Uniswap, but it's very directional. That's one advantage. And also, it's very capital efficient. When we have, in that case, we're controlling about $1,000 worth of capital. The requirement is only $120. So it's actually extremely capital efficient to create that type of position. We have leveraged, and it's almost like a long, but leveraged long that pays you. So it's actually a very interesting trade. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably fine for now. Maybe, yeah, if there's any big price action, we do have to figure out what to do with the put. But yeah,
Yeah, and maybe the this is a long perp that is positive funding, right? You don't see this often. This is almost too good to be true in perp land. When the funding rate reverses, this is because something weird is going on here. We're capitalizing on the shorter dated, longer dated. But if there's a big price move, we should expect to make fees or earn positive funding rate between 2,400 all the way to 3,000. So as long as we're in this range, then we're in the positive funding rate zone. So it's only if it does shoot up very very fast where now the call is being activated, but we will be paying. But I would imagine that as the price moves, we this is actually a very good trade. Actually, now I think about this because we have some certainty to be net positive between that range, and when we're negative, it's going to be above 3,000. Like we're in this extremely like high delta zone. So if it does shoot up to 3,500, we'd make a lot of money quickly without having to pay that much on that.
so even if we get into the red zone, as long as we're still in range with positive funding rate and are still earning.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess that offsets
And
the loss.
if you go down, then you have some risk. But if this is a bullish trade, we have some bullish, again, assumption. This is actually a very good trade to have. You have hedge on the upside. If it does shoot to 4,000 overnight, you have a sweet profit you can collect. If it's a bullish trade that you don't have the call, then you just have cap payoff. So yeah, you get paid less. Again, you don't harvest volatility as much, 30% instead of 100%. But it's maybe the trade-off that you have a much higher profit zone.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's it. Again, I do have a hard cutoff, but we can revisit and revel in that eigen trade. This is another one that is working quite well for us, but this is a trade that was put, and we're lucky because it stayed in range the whole time, but we're earning 68% on fees alone in a couple of months. So most of what we see is fees being collected. Eigenpool, and don't look at the Uniswap liquidity, it's a bit weird, but this one is working for us. When I was doing a lot of LPing, I was mostly doing it in medium, like the DeFi blue chips, medium tail, sometimes long tail. These less liquid maybe pairs have a lot of volatility, and they are still very correlated to price of ETH. And even though it seems like you're maybe doubling your risk because you have two assets to worry about, in that case, the price action is still pretty stable. Eigen and ETH have very similar. They have very similar maybe value props, network permissionlessness. So if one goes well, the other one goes well. So it's just a good trade to be in as well. If you're that's right. Maybe we can do the Solana wrap Solana ETH ratio as well. It's another interesting one. But these have different value props. You may expect a lot more dynamic activity. But yeah,
That
so
sounds interesting. All right. Yeah.
maybe next. That's right. Some investors said that we have a bunch of Solana. They don't mind wrapping it and moving it to mainnet just to trade that ratio. But maybe that maybe so maybe intern will have some wrap Solana ready, and then we can trade a trade on Wednesday.
That sounds great. Okay. Looking forward to doing that.
But yeah, this is a short stream. Sorry, everyone. I do have to hop, but this is kind of the yeah. We will close one that isn't profit, which is great. we don't have any problem child or any positions that need a lot of attention, which is great. So as long as you do it from a um, monthly time scale, there's some laid back nature. So this is good. Again, I'll end this a bit abruptly, but this is it for today. Stay tuned for tomorrow on the research live stream. We'll go and create a delta neutral position. Good.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day.